What is going on, my fellow Helldivers? This video is going to be my in-depth comprehensive guide on farming for super credits, Warbond Medals, and Requisition Slips. I'll be covering this in a variety of ways depending on what your goals are, whether you're trying to collect common samples and experience points in addition to the other three. This video is going to be targeted towards newer players. Welcome to my Super Destroyer, the Spear of Serenity. I am your host, G23 Black Sheep. So take your antibiotics because we're going to get knuckle deep in this. Alright, so the very first thing you do whenever you drop into your Super Destroyer is check out what your personal order is. There are times when these personal orders are going to be super easy to complete. It might be extract with 10 common samples, or it might be kill 30 enemies with a commando. So look at this first, and this is going to determine what part of your loadout might be moving forward. It might be something super easy to complete, and you can knock out that extra 15 Warbond medal. Alright, so after checking out our personal order, we're going to head into the armory. So your weapon choice really doesn't matter unless it has any effect on your personal order that you're trying to complete. So just pick something fun or something you've been trying to experiment with. We are going to be trying to avoid combat, so just keep that in mind. If you guys have the impact grenade, bring it. It's definitely not required, but I like to use it, and I'll show you guys later in the video where at. As far as your armor, you're going to want the fastest and highest stamina regen light armor that you have. When you first get the game, you automatically have the infiltrator. It's a decent light armor, you can use it. If you're going to be farming long term though, I recommend upgrading. On page 7 of the Helldivers Mobilized Warbond that you get when you get the game, you can find the Trailblazer Scout. It is a bit of an upgrade from the Infiltrator. So I just recently upgraded to the Shadow Paragon, found on the Redacted Warbond that just got released a few weeks ago. The speed of regen is the same as the Trailblazer Scout, but the wearer makes 50% less noise while moving and reduces the range that enemies can detect the wearer by 40%. That's going to come in clutch when we're trying to avoid combat. Next, you're going to want to head to your ship management, and you're going to want to take a look in the hangar, and you're going to want to look at getting the jump pack. It's a great tool to have regardless if you're farming or not. I use it all the freaking time. Jump pack is great for getting yourself out of a corner. But when it comes to farming, this is going to speed you up dramatically. So definitely look at getting the jump pack. And down in your engineering bay, you're going to want to look at maybe getting the laser cannon. This is kind of just a little tiny quality of life upgrade. It's definitely not required. Later in the video, I'll show you where this would be used at. So if it's something you guys want to pick up, that's where you'll find it. And the last thing we're going to look at is the exosuit. You have to be level 25 to purchase this, and it is 20,000 requisition slips. But this is going to allow you to get into the buddy bunkers without having a buddy or the war pack. So I would definitely look at getting this as one of your first upgrades as soon as possible. Before we jump into our map, we're going to take a look at the Helldivers Mobilized Warbond. There's one more upgrade you might want to look at getting, and that is the Stamina Enhancement Booster. I'm just going to look at our galactic map here. When picking where you're going to do your farming runs at, I would avoid the squids as much as possible just because the urban environments tend to be a lot less predictable, a little bit harder to get the super credits and the Warbond medals. But the bugs and the bots, either one will work. Your goal is to find a planet that's going to be the easiest to traverse, the least amount of obstacles, more land than water, and preferably no passive effects on the planet that's going to slow you down. Now, one of my favorite planets right now is Zonia Prime. Now, it does have an intense heat that's going to hurt my stamina, but if you do this at night, that completely negates that effect. And in the sandstorms, I'm typically gone in about 3 to 4 minutes. I can do a run, usually out of the map before the sandstorms even hit. So remember, we're going to be doing some trivial. You can see on this map here, it's pretty flat. However, it's got 2 objectives. So the more objectives you have on the map, least amount of POIs you're going to have spawn around them. With the recent updates with the siege breakers, they've added a lot more of the older mission types that we've seen on like the magma planets. Commando missions that we saw for a short time disappeared, now they're back. But because of that, we're seeing a lot more objectives, even on trivial. So picking a map is getting to be a little more challenging, but it's not impossible. Now this mission here is going to be perfect. There's one objective, and I got the landing zone straight in the middle. It's going to make finding those POIs super easy. It is during the day, so I'm going to have that intense heat effect, but I'd rather do that than waste my time with less POIs because there's too many objectives. So as I said before, typically I don't see POIs spawn close to the objective or to the landing zone. So I like to keep it super simple. I'm going to try to land as close to the objective as I can without getting into combat. I'm basically just going to do a big circle around the landing zone and coming back to the objective. And I might periodically, go south, head north, go east, south, kind of just to cover some of these grid squares and make sure that I'm hitting all my POIs. With our stratagems, we're going to take the laser cannon, our jump pack, the recon vehicle, and the exosuits. And then for our booster, we're going to be doing the stamina enhancement booster. Look at that, I'm landing right next to a POI, that's perfect. So you're obviously going to want to call down your resupply, call down your support weapons, and the recon vehicle if you want to use it. You don't have to, but if you got it, it might help, might speed things up just a little bit. And with the resupply, we're not actually worried about ammo since we're going to be trying to avoid combat. It's the stims that we want. With us sprinting all over the place, we can use stim packs to completely recharge our stamina and give us a temporary 2 to 3 second infinite stamina boost. So that's what we use our stim packs for the most part. Now right here is why you want the impact grenade or the laser cannon. These supply crates right here, we got to blow the doors off. But we have these fire canisters here. What we can do is throw an impact grenade right over here in this area. That's going to blow up the doors without blowing those up. Or you can use the laser cannon and just directly blow the doors off, no problem. And you don't have to worry at all about blowing up those canisters. If you do blow up the canisters, if you hug this inside left corner, you should be able to stay out of fire and get through there no problem. One other option you have is you can actually zoom in on your map and you can find the POIs just by looking at them. We can tell there's a building right here. We got another building right here. And definitely another building right there. So the more and more you do this, especially if you are paying attention to your map, you are going to start learning what these POIs look like on your map. And that's going to make it a little bit easier for you to predict which POIs on the map are worth going to and which ones aren't. So right off the bat, here we have a buddy bunker. So while we wait for that to land, I'm going to go hit this other POI real quick. Also, when doing the drop pods with the flares, to get yourself unlocked from the animation, just let it start to do the salute. Just hit forward on your joystick or your keyboard or wherever you're using, and that will unlock the animation. Alright, when using the exosuit, we're just going to back it up. We're going to look for that little, you can see there's kind of a beacon right there above my head. We're going to try to back it up with the beacon somewhat in the middle. And then you get out. There you go, just like that. We are inside. Got requisition slips, requisition slips. Now, if you are also farming for your common samples, you are going to have to extract the super credits, Warbond Medals, and requisition slips. You keep as soon as you find them, but the common samples you do not get to keep unless you extract. Now, I did ditch my recon vehicle, a Warthog, although I think it looks more like a Puma. It's like here we have a crash site, and there's typically a beacon there with it.
Found something.
Look at this armor, dude. I dropped in right next to them on a booster pack, and they had no idea I was there. Broad daylight. This armor is beautiful. Alright, once you finish your farming run, you can go ahead and just return to your ship unless you're trying to get those common samples or you have to extract for your personal order. So I just want to use this moment to clear up a couple misconceptions or myths or misinformation that's out there. So as I said in the video, any requisition slips, super credits, Warbond Medals that you find, you keep no matter what. Whether you extract, whether you finish the mission, whether you return to the game, whether your game crashes, you automatically have it. So however, any Warbond Medals, requisition slips, or experience points that is earned, you do not keep unless you extract, or at least start the extracted and fail to extract. If you return to the ship like I did, or you quit the game entirely using the old method, you will not keep your experience points, your Warbond Medals, or your requisition slips that you earned by completing a mission. Some missions are super easy to complete, like destroy the propaganda tower. If you want to keep those experience points for yourself, for your weapon, the 1 Warbond medal you earn on Trivial by completing it, the 100 Requisition Slips, and I think it's just 100 or 200 experience points. If you want to keep all that, you got to extract or at least fail to extract. And one more thing, as I mentioned, the old method. So a lot of the tutorials that I saw when I first started would go something like this. You would do the exact same thing that I just did and showed you in my video. However, instead of returning to the ship, you would actually take a screenshot or take a picture of your map showing all your POIs, and then you would quit the game entirely. Go back to your main menu on your Xbox, PlayStation, your PC, whatever it is. You quit the game. You'd return to the game, and you were able to do the exact same mission on the exact same planet, and you knew where all the POIs were, and you could even mark on your map which POIs were actually the ones that had high value loot. So guys were able to replicate this and do it over and over and over and over, and you were able to do runs in like 2 minutes because you knew exactly what POIs had all the high value stuff. Versus with my method, when you return to your ship, that mission and that specific map on the planet disappears. It's gone. So now if you use the old method, when you return to the planet, when you start picking up loot, it does not show up on your screen. It does not get added to your total. You can pick up the Warbond Medals, Super Credits, Requisition Slips, and the game just does not recognize that you're doing anything. So the only way to get around this by kind of combining my method and the old method, you would do what I just did. You would take your screenshot or picture of your map, and you quit your game, like I said before. By quitting your game, what you're doing is you're basically saving that specific map on the planet, that mission, so it doesn't disappear. But when you return to the game, you return to your ship, instead of going back to the same map, you're going to switch to a different map, different mission, and you're going to repeat the exact same process on that one. You're going to find all your POIs, you're going to take a screenshot or picture of your map, you're going to keep in mind which ones have the high value loot, you're going to quit the game. And now when you come back, you're going to turn to the first mission that you did before, and you can bounce back and forth, and now you have 2 maps that you have to pay attention to, and what POIs are the ones you're trying to go for. By quitting the game, you're saving that mission and that map so it doesn't disappear, but in order to bypass the patch, you have to switch to a different mission and map on the planet. Alright guys, well that is it for the tutorial. If you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up in the comments. If you like this content, please fist me in the like button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles, bitches.
Got up, boys, it's time to get frosty. It's 2:40 Bravo, feeling pretty nasty. Raining bullets, gift and hand grenades. Flashbang out the fucking vision fades. Clear, I think they've had enough. Delve 2, 3, nut up or shut up. Double tap to the chest, 1 to the face. Good catch, buddy, how'd that round taste?